sure you all remember the wonderful scene in Forrest Gump where Forrest and his old mate, Lieutenant Dan, are on board the fishing boat, and he receives a call from shore telling him that his mum is unwell. He immediately responds by looks around him and jumps overboard and swims to shore, and then proceeds to run for 100 miles or so until he finally reaches his mum. Well, I was reminded of that scene yesterday when I was talking to a client of mine who was telling me about his mum, who's in India, and how she's unwell, and he was very anxious to be with her, of course, at this moment in time. But unfortunately, due to the Covid-19 pandemic and all the restrictions that are around that, he was unable to be with her, at least unable to be with her as soon as he would like to be. These are difficult times, of course, for all of us. Times when we all want to be with our loved ones, our family, in a place which is safe and secure. I would like to tell you of a place, a country, which is quite simply the best place on earth. My name is Ned Burke. I'm an immigration lawyer and also a director of Access NZ, an immigration law firm based in Tauranga in the beautiful Bay of Plenty here in New Zealand. I would like to talk to you for a few moments about how we are managing during the COVID-19 crisis, and how, when this is all over and done with, you might want to consider coming to New Zealand as a safe and secure place for you and your family's future. Today is the 14th of April, and we are now 20 days into a 4-week lockdown. The very latest reports that we have tell us that at least the figures currently stand at 1,340 infections. There has thankfully been a gradual decline in the rate of infections over the past 7 days or so. Tragically, however, there have been a number of deaths there have been 5 deaths in total directly connected with the COVID-19 virus. When the lockdown is lifted, some restrictions will, of course, continue to apply, such as social distancing rules and strict border controls. In fact, the government has just recently announced that all travellers to New Zealand will be required now to go into a 14-day supervised quarantine from the date of their arrival. At Access NZ, we fully support our government's response to this crisis. Throughout this period, we have continued to work on behalf of our clients from our respective home offices, and I have, in fact, just a few hours ago gotten off a call from an Italian client, a doctor who is inquiring about coming to New Zealand for him, not just for himself, but he and his wife, who is also a doctor, and their 3 children. Indeed, there has been a huge upsurge in the amount of inquiries that we have received in the past while from Europe, the United States, and also indeed from China. The message that is coming through from our European and particularly European and US contacts is that New Zealand is seen as a safe haven. That perception has been very much reinforced by the COVID-19 crisis, and in particular by the response of New Zealand and how it has dealt with the crisis in general. Although the response has been swift and very proactive, it is anticipated that after we exit the current phase that we're in, the lockdown phase, we will remain, the borders will remain closed to non-New Zealanders for several months to come. So if you're outside of New Zealand and you're considering moving here, now is the ideal time to start doing the hugely time-consuming preparatory work involved, of course, in moving from one country to another, finding out all of the information that is required, all of the documents that and the evidence that Immigration New Zealand requires, And of course, if your documents, key documents are not in English, then they will need to be translated by an authorized translator into English. These are just some of the things that you can start doing over the coming months while we all prepare for normality to return. If you are unsure about New Zealand as a safe and secure place for you and your family, don't take my word for it. Please do your own research, and you should anyway. And I have no doubt that you will be amazed at what you will discover. New Zealand is simply the best place on earth, period. Absolutely. Now, to paraphrase Forrest Gump's mum, life doesn't need to be like a box of chocolates. Take control of your future today. Make contact with us. Contact Access NZ at our website www.accessnz.com, or check us out on our Facebook page. Stay safe, everyone. Be kind to one another, and we will get through this. Thank you.